welcome along to my predictions for the 2026 Formula 1 Championship. How it's going to work is we're going to be predicting the entire constructors and the top 10 in the drivers. If you guys want me to do this for every single race weekend for the 2026 season, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's do this. So let's start off with P11 in the Constructors' Championship, and I have gone for Cadillac to be 11th place in the Constructors' Championship. Now the main reason why I've got them in 11th place is they're a brand new team. A new team entering Formula 1 is a lot to ask for a brand new team, and their car didn't look great in pre-season testing, and yeah, that's the main reason why. Their car didn't look great, and they're a brand new team. They'll make a lot of mistakes as a team, and that's expected again for a new team. And yeah, there's not much to say about Cadillac. New team gonna struggle quite a bit. Moving on to P10 in the Constructors' Championship, and I have gone for Racing Bulls to be 10th place in the Constructors' Championship. Now, I don't think they have a bad car whatsoever. I think they have a pretty solid car, but the main reason why I've got this team in P10 is I think their driver lineup is going to hold them back quite a bit. I still think they'll get quite a few points and be competitive, but with the driver lineup they have, very unexperienced drivers, I don't see how they're going to keep up their good form from pre-season testing, because they looked really good in pre-season testing, but I can't see how they're going to keep up the form from testing with the driver lineup they have. Moving on to 9th place in the Constructors' Championship, and I have gone for Audi to be 9th place in the Constructors. Now, I almost had this team higher, but I didn't want to go too mental with these predictions. I want to keep them sort of realistic, to be honest, but Audi have really impressed so far. Their engine looks really, really good. They've got a great driver lineup. Their race pace looks really good. Honestly, I probably have this team way too low, considering how decent they looked during the pre-season. And that's the only reason I've got them P9 is their reliability. I still think their reliability is going to be a bit bad, to be honest, and that's why I think it's going to cost them quite a lot of points throughout the season. Moving on to 8th place. This is probably a bold prediction, considering how bad they performed during pre-season testing, but I've gone for Aston Martin to be 8th place. Now, I almost had this team in 10th place in the Constructors, but I thought, since they've got a great set of facilities, personnel, they've got Alonso in the team, I just think that team, they can't be at the back for too long. I think they'll start off the season right on the back foot. They'll be getting near enough last place every weekend, but I think they'll be one of the best teams to develop, and I think towards the end of the year they could be at the top of the midfield. If I'm being brutally honest, I think they'll end the year really well. I think the start of the year is where they're going to lose all of the points that they could be getting towards the end of the year, because like I said, I think at the end of the year they'll be really good, but I think the first half at least they'll be a bit on the back foot, and that's why I've got them only in 8th place. Let me know down in the comments, is this a bold prediction? I don't know if it is. I think this is pretty reasonable. Moving on to 7th place, and I have gone for Haas to be in 7th. They looked really competitive during pre-season testing. They were up there with Alpine in terms of performance and race pace, but I feel like they're going to get outdeveloped throughout the season, particularly by a certain team, which we'll talk about in a moment. But Haas are a team that I think are on the rise. I think they've had a couple good years back to back, especially last year. I think that was a really good year, especially towards the end of the year. And I feel like they'll continue to develop, but I think another team will just outdevelop them throughout the season. Moving on to 6th position, and I have gone for Williams to be in 6th. The reason I have this team in 6th is I think there will be a team that really developed their car really, really well. They didn't really develop at all last year. They had a really good year last year. And I think this year, even though they're one position lower, I still think they'll have a good year. And I think they'll develop quicker than Haas, like I said. And the main reason why is they're massively overweight, and I think they'll get rid of some of that weight, especially early on in the year. And I think they'll end the season with the 5th best car. I generally believe that. And if they do, I'm just a right genius. But Williams from 6th, I think that's a reasonable prediction. Moving on to 5th place, and I have gone for Alpine to be in 5th position. I genuinely think Alpine will be closer to the front pack than the midfield to start off the season. And I think they'll be really good at developing their car. But like I said, I think Williams will out-develop them and be ahead of them towards the end of the year. But I think they'll do enough to be 5th place in the Constructors. I always had this team lower, mainly because of their lineup. Even though I've got Gasly, they've also got Colapinto, who's not really great, but Gasly I think will do enough points, or get enough points, to make sure Alpine finish 5th place in the Constructors. Moving on to 4th position, and I have gone for Red Bull to be in 4th. A couple of reasons. Number one, their driver lineup. Verstappen's going to be the one maximising that car, getting good points, but Hadjar, it's just the second Red Bull seat. That's the main reason why. I think Hadjar's actually a good driver, but I don't think he'll get enough points to outscore the likes of McLaren, Mercedes and Ferrari in terms of an actual fight. I think they have a solid car, but I think Hadjar will just let the team down, and I do think the car will be a bit off pace anyway, so that just adds to the reason I've got them in 4th place. Moving on to 3rd position in the Constructors, and I have gone for McLaren to be in 3rd place. I don't think they have a good car this year. I feel like there was a team in testing that just lacked confidence. I don't think they have confidence in their car to challenge for the championship, especially at the start of the year. But I do think towards the end of the year, they'll be the best car, if not one of the best cars on the grid again. But I think they'll start the season even behind Red Bull. But I think how quick this team develops, usually, I think they'll be up there towards the end of the year, fighting for wins, fighting for podiums, but it won't be enough to win the Constructors, let alone get P2. In 2nd position in the Constructors Championship, I have gone for Mercedes to finish in 2nd place. I think they'll have a great year. I think they'll be a really quick car, but I think Antonelli will hold them back a little bit, not because he's bad, but I think his inexperience will hold Mercedes back a little bit of fighting for the Constructors' Championship. But like I said, I do think they'll have a really competitive car, and I think 2nd place is the best Mercedes will get. So that means P1 in the Constructors, I have gone for Ferrari to win the Constructors' Championship. I feel like every single year I predict Ferrari to win the championship, and it never happens. But I think this is the most confident I've felt in Ferrari winning the Constructors. I'll be brutally honest, this is going to age really poorly, but I think Ferrari will win the Constructors. I think they've got one of the best lineups on the grid. They're going to have one of the best cars on the grid. I just think they're going to win the Constructors. Their lineup's good, their car will be good, and I think that's why they will win the Constructors. So now we've done the Constructors predictions, let's move on to the drivers. Now, I'm going to skim through this quite quickly because I think we talked quite a bit about their teams and that, but let's do this. So in P10, I have Ollie Behrman. I think Ollie Behrman's going to have a really good year for his 2nd season, and he'll outclass his more experienced teammate Esteban Ocon. In 9th place, I have Pierre Gasly. I think Pierre Gasly will shine in that Alpine, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets at least a couple of podiums. In P8, I have Isaac Hadjar. Again, 2nd Red Bull seat, not much to expect for him. In P7, I have Oscar Piastri. I think he's going to struggle a little bit in these new regulation of cars. Seems they have less grip compared to last year. I would be surprised if this ages really badly, but I think this one is one of my more bold predictions. In 6th place, I have Max Verstappen. I just don't think the Red Bull car is going to be anywhere near competitive enough, but I still think he'll win at least one race or more this season. In 5th place, I have Antonelli. I think he'll do really, really well, but I think he will sort of hold the team back in their Constructors' Challenge. In 4th place, I have Lewis Hamilton. This one, I will not be surprised if I get wrong whatsoever. This is just off of last year, and I think Hamilton will do a lot better in his 2nd year with Ferrari. In 3rd place, I have Lando Norris. I think he'll have a really strong season, but I think the car will just hold him back quite a bit. In 2nd position, I have Charles Leclerc to be P2. I think he's going to have a really good year, but I think the Ferrari, this is quite a big trend from Ferrari. They start off the season really well, not last year, but they tend to start off well. Then they have a bit of a meh point in the season where they're getting like 5th and 6th, and then towards the end of the year, they're back up at the front again. And if it's like that, I think Mercedes will be super consistent throughout the season, getting consistent podiums, consistent wins, and that's why I think Leclerc will miss out on the Drivers' Championship. And that means I've got, in P1, George Russell to win the championship. I think he is ready to fight for a championship. He's been really impressive in his Formula 1 career, especially in the Mercedes, especially last year as well. He was arguably one of the best drivers last season, and I think with him in a good car, I think he will win the 2026 World Championship. Well, there we have it. That's the end of this video of me predicting the 2026 season. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what are your predictions for the 2026 season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys for a new video coming soon.